Hi, it's Vex, and today we are continuing our Journey of Bling. That's right, 1 year ago we released our first video on blinging out our Atraxa deck, and right now, I said in that video, it's going to be a 2-year journey to bling out my Atraxa deck, and you know what? It's been a year and a half because when I released that first video, it's been 6 months since I started the journey, so now, third video in, a year and a half after I begin this journey. So, a quick recap, if you haven't seen the video here, the first one, or the second video, let's do a quick recap of those two videos. I have it started off with Double Masters Atraxa. As you can see, it's a Phyrexian altered Atraxa. And the funny part is, yes, I had this altered before they had the secret layer. And besides the Elish Norn, it felt really unique to have a Phyrexian. See if you can see it. Maybe it's a little dark. It's a foil Phyrexian altered Atraxa, another Praetor, or this is Angel Horror, I think. I forgot what the name is, but we do have a English one. So I do have both in the deck box. I have the Atraxa Altered, which looks super cool. But new players cannot read Phyrexian, right? So I always have an English one available, so they could read what it does. Even though it's very simple, and I memorize what it is: Flying, Vigilance, Lifelink, Death Touch. At end of your turn, proliferate. And if you're wondering if I'm going to add the Phyrexian Praetors in here, I'm like, no. Everything is in English. I consider this a cool alternate Phyrexian. I hope they don't print a Phyrexian Atraxa, which they probably will eventually in a secret layer. But I think mine is a 1-of-1 copy, so it's really unique. And I do have the English version here, so that's my commander. This is just imagine this is like one of those large commanders that you used to have that you put next to your commander. It's kind of cool. But you still have the small version, put in your hand, shuffle, whatever it is. Let's go over the deck as it exists since my last video. Super quick here. We were really light on creatures, actually. I'll just flip to the land slot. We have tons of lands. So Zendikar Rising gave us a lot of cool lands too. So we have tons of lands because we want to do those first, and then figure out what we want to do with our +1/+1 counters theme. So let's quickly go through the lands. These lands are all in alphabetical order. That's why they're not in any... Because I like to keep my cards in alpha order because I like to register my cards on Goldfish, which let you register the exact version of the card. So I know what version of the card I have, and I like to keep that order just to match. I haven't played this deck, obviously, because it's not done. Because I think after this, I'm going to just go try to collect the cards, and 6 months later do another video of the final version. I'll probably have 110, 120 cards, and then we'll do some kind of cut. So that'll be 6 months from now. It's gonna take me time to collect more cards because foil cards are expensive. It is what it is. And just in case they have more secret layers or whatever that come out that have cool stuff for the deck, we'll see. So I have the lands here. I've got the Battle Bond lands, Shock lands, of course Command Tower, the cool Tom Ross Evolving Wilds. Usually I wouldn't put it in the deck, but it is Tom Ross and it looks absolutely gorgeous, so it's going in the deck. Fetch lands, basic lands by Tom Ross. Bob Ross. Why did I say Tom Ross? I meant Bob Ross. Not the Infect player Tom Ross, but Bob Ross, the artist. There you go. And then we have Triomes, more Tom Ross lands, and they have Original Expedition, and then Zendikar Rising Expedition. So just fan through some of these cards because they look really cool. Prismatic Vista, it's there. And then we have the Commander Legends, Battle Bond lands right here. Too bad they don't have these borders. I would like to be consistent, but it is what it is. Then you have Snow-Covered lands, more Secret Lair lands. I might cut some of the planes and stuff. This is, every deck is usually a base green deck, so I might add more forests. I think I'm missing Yavimaya, which I think is either in here or I will get eventually. I forgot. So, yep, some more of these full art triomes. Some foil tokens. I'm trying to get all foil tokens. Hopefully that works. So the existing deck, very light on creatures, but we're going to add a bunch of creatures today. We have the Hangerback Walker, or Mecha Godzilla style Walking Ballista, Scavenging Usa, all variants, lots of variants here. The partner commanders that can be secondary commanders: Rayan, and Ishai, Colonial Hydra, and Virtus Gearhawk. So just very light on creatures. We need way more creatures than that. Then we have, some utility spells, staples, swords, Cyclonic Rift, Dovin's Veto. I did have a video about cutting counter spells. I might cut this, but it just looks really cool. So I might just keep this. We don't know. We'll see in the next video if we want to cut or not. Fracture as a brand new card when I had second video. There, Balagad Recovery, one of my green ultra staples, love it. Cultivate, M21. They have a Secret Lair one, but you know it is. Teferi's Protection, Toxic Deluge, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Ozolith, then some Signet, Arcane Signet, Chromatic Lantern, Lightning Greaves. You know, some staple-y cards, Doubling Season, of course, Smothering Tithe. So really cards that are just, you know, staples of Commander. But you know, there's some +1/+1 counters theme, like the Ozolith is definitely +1/+1 counters theme. But a lot of decks love that. Great Henge, Doubling Season. So okay, so that is the deck as it exists so far. And if you've been with me this far, I do have the new deck list in the description below, along with the TCG player affiliate link and new Channel Fireball affiliate link with the code VEXMTG, or you click on the link below. Okay, let's move on to the stuff I'm adding. This pile of 30 cards. I know it's a lot of cards. I just queue them up, wait 6. You know, I don't buy it and then wait 6 months. I just buy it over the 6 months and then just put them in this pile, and then I will add it to this pile in the video. I did actually buy some variants of cards that exist in the deck already. Swords of Plowshares. This came in Secret Lair, Teferi's Protection, Soul Ring, Secret Lair, and I have Chromatic Lantern. So let's talk about it. I have all these different variants of the same card in the deck. Let me just pull those cards out here. Chromatic Lantern. Let's see here. Make sure I can put this on the screen here. So these are the cards I have not added to the deck, but I might consider. So I have this Chromatic Lantern. I have this Soul Ring. Let's see if I can just fit all of these on camera here. Teferi's Protection. So I bought these extra just in case I feel like which one I liked better or not. Here. So it's funny, I have this Teferi's Protection. It's my favorite Teferi's Protection art, by the way, of all the art. And then I have this one, which I bought in a Secret Lair. I didn't buy this for the deck, but I have it. I bought this Swords of Plowshares to match this Teferi's Protection border, but I actually like this one better. The Chromatic Lantern, I don't know. I'm on the fence about this. It's really cool to have, you know, full art Soul Ring, but I really love the Mark Teeden Soul Ring. I wish this was a bigger art. So we'll see. I'm still undecided about which one to keep. I think Teferi's Protection, I'm definitely keeping this variant, but I just have this here. Swords of Plowshares, you know, who knows? I might move this here just to match Teferi's Protection. Soul Ring, we'll see. They're coming out with Commander Collection Black and all this stuff. They might have more like cool Soul Rings. Soul Ring is a staple, so we'll see. I'm leaning towards this Soul Ring, even though it has less art, but I just like it better. Chromatic Lantern, I'm really on the fence about. I have no idea, but we'll see. We'll just put these back in the deck. Here, we'll just save these. So we just did one swap here. I do love the Invention border. We'll see. But I do love the cool little I don't know, Carmela art. Looks really neat. Okay, so what am I adding to the deck here? These are in order, alpha order again, because I have them on the MTG Goldfish. First, we have Atraxa Jelly right here from the AFR set. You know, it comes into play with X counters on it. When it dies, it just splits into 2, and then it keeps splitting as it keeps dying. So it's kind of like hard to kill. We have some, you know, kind of stapley. Some of the cards are really like stapley cards in Atraxa counters. Some cards aren't. I think these are cards I liked and I wanted to add, like Incubation Druid, a little piece of ramp on a creature that you can put +1/+1 counters on. If you put +1/+1 counters on early without the adapt feature, you get to tap for 3. So, and it has the watermark, which I love. Evolution Sage, a little landfall, proliferate deal. Good Fortune Unicorn. I actually like the name of the card, Good Fortune Unicorn. You know, another creature enters the battlefield under your control. You know, put +1/+1 counter on that creature. So maybe you have Good Fortune Unicorn, and then you play Incubation Druid. Bam, help with mana. Then let's take Pier and Toothy. These are partners right here. So they actually work really well together. Let's see what Pier does. Is if one or more counters would be put on a permanent your team controls, just you in this case because you're not playing a team, that may +1 of each of those kinds of counters are put on the permanent instead. So it's just a +1 counters person. And then you have Toothy. So Pier can search for Toothy, Toothy can search for Pier, which is really, really cool in the deck. And whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Toothy. And then whenever Toothy leaves the battlefield, draw a card for each +1/+1 counter in it. So Toothy is a +1/+1 counter one, and Pier just gets to, that many counters +1 extra. So as you can see, I'm buffing up the +1/+1 counter creatures because we're missing them. You have Rishgar, another mana dork that can grant, allow other creatures with +1/+1 counters to tap for mana. So it's super cool. Corpsejack Menace. This is like almost the staple of if you're playing Golgari with +1/+1 counters, because if one or more +1/+1 counters will be placed on a creature you control, twice that many. So very stapley card, gotta have it. And it has the watermark. I love watermarks. It's one of my favorite things in Magic. And Golgari is one of my favorite guilds too. So that's perfect. Oh, another watermark. Surprise, surprise, right? Fathom Mage. It says, and it has Evolve. Whenever a +1/+1 counter is placed on Fathom Mage, you may draw a card. So if you evolve it, I know it costs 4 for a 1/1. But if you evolve it, get that first +1/+1 counter on it, or you use Good Fortune Unicorn, Atraxa is able to proliferate and just draw cards. It's super good. Then we have another card, Forgotten Ancient. It just grows as people cast, and then you could just move it around. So that's pretty cool because you can move counters from Forgotten Ancient to Fathom Mage, draw a card. So there's a lot of little sweet combos that I'm trying to figure out. You gotta love the new Pelucranos. ATBs with 6 +1/+1 counters. Of course, when it takes damage, it loses a +1/+1 counter instead of taking that damage. It fights, it escapes, it just does all the fun things. Pelucranos is the big +1/+1 counter beater. Deep Closed Gate. This doesn't have +1/+1 counters, but ETBs just doubles everything. That's exactly what we want here. I just totally messed up my pile. But moving on, we have Rolesk. Oh, this is War of the Spark. And I wish they had the watermark, but they did not have watermarks in War of the Spark. Rolesk, Apex Hybrid, ETBs, 2 +1/+1 counters on another creature. And then when it dies, proliferate, then proliferate again twice. Of course, we have the Vorinclex. And you're like, hey, Vex, why don't you use a Phyrexian Vorinclex to match your commander? So the rule is foil, nothing old border, unless it's extremely beautiful card. New border or variant, and English. I want all my cards to be English. And Vorinclex is actually complicated enough that I want people who I play against, or play with, or play against, plays with, depends on your politics at the time. But I want people that are in my game to be able to read the card and understand the card. I don't want to be like, hold on, bust out your phone, look at the Oracle. Just really want people to understand what the card does. And for a complicated card like Vorinclex, you want to do it. It's just basically, it's like the counter's half of Doubling Season, not the token's half. So essentially that. And then it halves the counters on the opponent's stuff, which is really, really cool there. So those are the creatures. A lot of +1/+1 counters. You got some doublers here. This technically isn't a +1/+1 counter. This is a +1 here. I'm thinking about getting Wine Constrictor because it is the correct colors. I didn't get one yet, but I will get a Wine Constrictor. Do additional counter +1, kind of like Pier. So that's creatures. We're definitely adding more creatures. See how many creatures we have. We have 5, 10, 14 creatures. So we want to end up with like 30 something creatures in the creature slot. So those are the creatures there. We do have Teferi, Master of Time. I know there's so many variants, but we got the this variant of Teferi, I guess. I'm not even sure what to call it. It's just the cool Teferi border. Here is really cool. This is the only Planeswalker. We're playing a +1/+1 deck, but we had to play Teferi because Teferi works really well with Doubling Season. If you have a +1 counter, you add additional counter to permanents you control. Teferi can do his +1 every turn on each player's turn. So I thought it was really cool, and I really like the border of Teferi. Again, when you're making a deck, I gotta get my soapbox again. I love it. When you make a deck, you just add cards that you like. You don't have to add the most optimal card. Commander is not about optimization; it's about customization. So just remember that. And I really like Teferi. Teferi might not be the best Planeswalkers. There's tons of other Planeswalkers. Oops, I'm throwing things around. They're much better than Teferi, but I really like Teferi. So we have our spells here, artifacts, and lands. So let's get to the spells. And I'm just going to just fan this out here and just take spells out as I talk about them. For instance, I saw Tezzeret's Gambit, right? Draw 2 cards and proliferate. It does have the Strixhaven Mystical Archive border to match, you know, my Swords of Plowshares and Teferi's Protection. So that's why I want. It sucks that you know I don't want just one of these in here because I kind of like the border. I want more than one. So we have this. I'm not sure about Tezzeret's Gambit. I actually like the other Tezzeret picture better. We'll see. But you know, that's a cool spell. Another proliferate spell. You know, just a sorcery. 1 in blue. Proliferate, draw a card. So let's draw 2 cards. Proliferate for essentially 3 in Phyrexian blue, but just essentially 3 mana. Usually I pay the Phyrexian to make it cheaper. We have some removal right here. We'll just take the removal out right there. We have a Assassin's Trophy staple. It doesn't have the Golgari watermark, which I'm kind of very disappointed, but it is what it is. We have English Unmaking. I love this art. It's like a extended picture art. It's one of those what does it say? Game day promos. Super cool. Comes in foil. Vanquish the Horde, brand new from Midnight Hunt. Destroy creatures essentially for 2 white mana. Most of the time, but basically it's like Wrath of God cost or less. Then we have our Demonic Tutor from Ultimate Masters. I know there is a Demonic Tutor in the archive, but I love this Demonic Tutor art, so I had to get it. I love this Demonic Tutor art so much. So there's that. Then we have our ramp spells. Farseek, they had a little promo here, 3 visits, Kadamas Reach, so we're ironing out our ramp spells. I do want Nature's Lore, but don't have a full Nature's Lore. They did have a Secret Lair one, but it didn't come in foil. I was very disappointed. I was going to get it if it came in foil. So we have those spells here, and then what we're adding here is we're doing some mana rocks, but these 2 are mana rocks artifacts. Astral Cornucopia and Everflowing Chalice works really well with Atraxa, so I hunted those down. Of course, this came in double masters, and I forgot to add it during my last Journey of Bling. Well, actually, yeah, so I add it now. Oh well. I had the card around. Then we have Contagion Engine with the Phyrexian, right there, Phyrexian watermark. So lovely. Right here, when ETBs, you know, put -1/-1 on counter each creature target player controls, 1 player. And then you 4 proliferate, then proliferate again. So this is double proliferate here. And I'll tell you what, this is not cheap with the foil watermark one. So those are the artifacts we're adding in. And then lands. We always add in some lands. I know we're probably over 30, almost close to 40 lands. We're gonna cut some next time around, but we're just gonna keep adding. And next time we're gonna add some more cards and do the cut, as I call it. So we're just Carnage Bastion, proliferate land. It does have the cool watermark from War of the Spark, so love that. Exotic Orchards. Basically any, you know, maybe 3+ color deck I play Exotic Orchard. Actually, it comes in a bunch of precons too, so it's not that expensive. The foil one it's getting up there because they haven't really printed easily available foil. But this usually taps for maybe 3, if not all, of your colors of mana that you need for Atraxa. Then Bojuka Bog, always have Greater Hate, so I have that in there. They have not reprinted this in the M15 border. Let's put this all together. Let's take the lands here. And we have our pile of lands right there. Giant pile of lands. So I was going to put this here in our pile of lands. How many lands do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 39. Okay, so we are over the amount that we usually put in our decks. We do have Battle Get Recovery. We might add another Mold Double Face card. I don't know yet. Let's see here. We have our spells, our mana rocks here. So these are spells, creatures. So yeah, if you've listened this far, thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about my foil deck. This is kind of like the process I go through for deck building. So you get a little sneak peek in here, right there. Sometimes I lay out a deck, and then when I have deck text, I have way more than 100 cards. I have like 120, cut, and then I build the deck, and then I play with the deck, and then I'm like, oh, I cut, add some more things. Oh, I forgot to add this thing, so I do some more cuts. So it's just like a very iterative process. It actually takes a while to iterate over. Then we have our creature suite here. So now we got a big pile of creatures added to our +1/+1 counters. So we got a good amount of creatures here. I think we have about 90 cards. So we're really close. If we wanted to play this deck, we just add 10 random cards, play the deck, maybe 10 non-foils. Right there we have our artifact ramp package. We have an arcane signet. Where's our arcane signet? Here we do have an arcane signet. Here we have smothering tithe. Then we have our great doubling season. You know, this is ramp too. Great henge. Or mana crypt. I might cut it. I'm still thinking about it. So utility artifacts here. Some ramp right here. We only have one ramp spell, so we just add to our. And this feels like really low amount of ramps right here. We only have 4 ramp spells. We do have our Rishkar and Incubation Druid. So those are some ramp spells, but there's not a lot of ramp. I guess we do have mana crypt. I guess we have artifact ramp. Because usually in green I don't play arcane signet, but I just love the art. So I had to add it in. Oh, we do have a bunch of ramp spells. Okay. Yeah, so we're like good there. Removal. I want one more board wipe. I might put Onto Inversion. I love Onto Inversion as a modal double face card. We have Toxic Deluge and Vanquish the Horde as 2 removal spells. Right there. We have protection spells. Here I consider Dovin's Vio protection spells. You want to protect your stuff. You have utility. You know, Battle Get Recovery is utility. Cyclonic Rift is like a board wipe. So you have single removal spell, Swords Posture, Anguish on making Assassin's Trophy. They're so efficient at what their mana cost is. Fracture is really good. I want to see how good it is. Artifact Enchantment, Planeswalker. Planeswalker isn't that great in Commander, so if it says Artifact Enchantment or like land or something, that'd be amazing right there, but it is what it is. You have utility spells like Demonic Tutor, draw spells like Tezzer's Gambit. They have Contagion Engine, and Teferi Master Time. Actually, I thought about getting Contagion Clasp. But I want to have more +1/+1 counter creatures. That's the whole main goal of the deck. See how many creatures we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're really low on creatures. We want to add about, I think about 33 is usually the amount of creatures we want to add. So we got to add way more creatures. We might have to take some cards out somewhere. Take some lands out because we are lands over here off camera. Take some lands out because we're really like high on lands. So that's basically what the deck is looking like right now. It's really coming together. I'm really liking it. Here we got even new cards like Vanquish the Hordes coming in. So I'm really happy about that. Anyways, if you have made it this far, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, smash subscribe, hit the notification bell to be alerted for new videos in the future. I do have my current deck list right now in the description below. Also TCG and channel for our Fireball affiliate links. And as always, have a wonderful day.